in the city of Houston to the north on 45 and along Interstate 10. It is going to be active. So let's start here out across Houston within the metro. This is where we're noticing plenty of lightning strikes pushing along 45 north, continuing there out to Aldine and Bush. In fact, Bush has a ground stop at this point until this cluster of showers and thunderstorms moves through for the next hour. So if you have any flight plans here today, just know there could be some rollover delays because of this weather. Keep that in mind. 290 out to 610, also experiencing that heavy wet weather. We continue to see that into Del Mar Stadium, out to the Houston Heights. If you're sitting closer to, say, North Main Street, you're on the lighter side of that cell. But if you're anywhere to the west of North Shepherd, you are dealing with heavier downpours. Alba Road, Ella Boulevard, Piedmont Drive, Yale Street also included in those heavier downpours. As we slide to the south here, Washington Avenue down through Memorial Drive and Memorial Park, it is heavy rain with some lightning in the vicinity. And even where we're not seeing some heavy rain, there's some lightning just to the north and east of San Felipe. Memorial Drive noticing those showers as well, and that continues into Quitman Street as well as into the Dyken Park area. Going to zoom out and head here out a little farther to the east along 59, and there you notice that cluster of showers coming down, trying to move its way. Put this in play for you so you can see that motion moving to the north there. So if you're in North Shadydale, in the Calgary Woods, Emerson Place, you're going to start to notice another batch of more moderate to heavy rain pushing in. And this looks like it has a slightly northeastern component. So the worst could slightly come to the east of 69 there. But any of those communities surrounding, once again, you should be on alert. Let's shift a little farther out here and show you some more areas. I'm going to put pause on this so we can see what's going on at this moment. As you head out to the south loop here, are also another feisty cell coming out of 45, headed to the north there. So in South Pasadena, headed towards Gulf Crest. And I'm going to take a break from this particular cell. The National Weather Service just putting out in that area that I mentioned for Bush. That includes Jersey Village, Spring Valley, Hunters Creek Village, as well as Aldine. There's a special weather statement that's until 3:30 p.m. for, once again, Harris County and this northwestern edge of Harris County extending north along 45, including the northern portion of the Beltway, back through portions of the northern edge of Highway 6 and 290, as well as into 610. That also includes Bel Air, Bunker Hill, and as you head down portions of, once again, Beltway 8. This special weather statement means we are likely seeing some stronger winds with these thunderstorms. And we're also going to be experiencing the chance for some heavier downpours, but we can already see that from radar. Very, very heavy downpours depicted in that red color there, frequent lightning. Special weather statement means we are not quite severe. So those winds are likely less than 60 miles per hour, but they could still bring some gusty conditions that when that rain comes down and the wind combines, we're looking at some poor visibility on our roads. So definitely take your time if you do have to head out today. We could see some more special weather statements as we head through this afternoon and evening. So I'm going to zoom back in this area since this is where we have our special weather statement. Once again, into Aldine. If you're in the city proper of Aldine may not seem all that bad, but if you're sitting closer to 45 there, you are looking at those heavier downpours that comes across portions, once again, of 45, the North Freeway, intersecting with North Sam Houston Parkway, Armor Trail, Greens Road. If you're in any of these communities or have to head to any of these communities within the next 5 minutes, you're looking at some pretty bad weather. Once again, lightning is a concern here. I know it's summertime. You might be out and about, but as we see on the radar, it's time to go indoors. Even if you're, say, in Aldine and it's dry in your particular neighborhood, you could still see some of that lightning impact you. Highland Heights. Rosslyn, as well as Del Mar Stadium. Actually seen some slight improvements on the southwest side of Del Mar Stadium, but in and around, let's get some streets on here for you as you head into Piedmont Drive. And this continues to push that newest loop, pushing this slightly to the north and east, so seeing some slight improvements, but along 610, the north loop there for some of these neighborhoods that's just to the east of 290 and 610, that's where we're seeing the worst. Let's drop on down to Lamar Terrence, get back to the West Park Tollway. Here, we know in the West Park Tollway sometimes there is some construction, so keep that in mind as you drive to the west. You'll be encountering these heavier pockets of rain and thunderstorms. This is out to Richmond Avenue, as well as in a Westheimer. Briar Forest is a very populated area. So if you're in these communities on the west side of town, you are going to be experiencing heavier downpours. Maybe you have to pick that kiddo up from daycare or camp. You want to take your time on the road. As we look at Memorial Drive, still looking at some lighter conditions just to the north of Memorial Drive, but this is going to continue to press to the north and slightly to the east. So if you're on Memorial Drive and say Bunker Hill, extending in a Bunker Hill or the Katy Tollway, we're going to be looking at this storm cell coming right over the Katy Tollway out to Hennessy and once again Memorial City Mall. This is lasting at least for another hour, that special weather statement. I want to take you out so we can get a big picture view of what else is going on. Yes, that's an area of concern. Once again, Bush ground stop until 3:30. And then as we drop to the south here across Fort Bend County, let's take a look here. So into Fairchild's Pleat, just to the east is where we're seeing some nasty weather. We're talking about these reds indicating heavy downpours. Whaley Corner included in that. And anytime you see purple, that's an indication that we have enough updraft that hail might be trying to form in the storm. The big question is, does it reach the surface? And that's why sometimes we need your help to, if you're in these communities, to report if you're seeing any type of hail, even if it is on the small side. As we take a look once again south of 69 there, if you're south of Rosenberg, south of Richmond, you can look out the door and probably see those storm clouds trying to approach you. Over the last hour, I'm going to show you that motion of these storms. They continue to once again lift to the north and east. So the worst might miss Richmond. Not saying that you won't see some of this, but the big meat of that particular storm looks like it will push its way closer to, say, Booth and places like Sugar Land, and even out to Missouri City, out to Meadows Place, as well as Elkins High School. First Colony Mall will be dealing with some of that heavier bouts of rain as we continue here. Some of these storms are moving faster than others, so around let's say 15 miles per hour for some of these storms, while others are coming a little bit lower than that. But with that, comes that issue of downpours. The slower they move, the more ponding we can see in one particular area. And then you also notice we have to watch out for training, meaning are these storms coming over the same areas over and over again? I'll have to watch for this cluster to see exactly where it sets up. But it does overall look like some of these are pushing to the northeast, while others are trying to pivot a little further to the west. Going to zoom right back out for you and get you to the cell that is sitting to the west of Katy along Interstate 10. This was a sweet spot yesterday evening, but a little bit later in the day. We had thunderstorms coming through Katy, in between Interstate 10, and I believe this is 290 there. So back through Brenham and Hempstead, Belleville, you're getting hit hard once again. The heaviest seems like it's moving out of Belleville, continuing to press into Brenham as well as into Hempstead, and we'll continue to see the likelihood for those storms to pull to the north. Wharton County, it really all started with you about an hour ago. Now you're starting to see some relief there. Going to zoom right back out for you, take you to the east side of town. We're going to be looking at Liberty here briefly. We're looking at those showers and thunderstorms continuing to push out of northern Liberty County, coming closer to Cleveland. We're also looking at a wet day in portions of Livingston there. And notice north of Huntsville, we're still looking at the storms firing off. So we have a lot of moisture and energy in the atmosphere here today. We have plenty of scattered activity for almost all of our counties. Now we want to get a live look with our storm tracker. I'm trying to see exactly where they might be. I'm sorry, I don't have my eye of being. But what we're seeing here is this storm cloud. Looks like he's probably headed north somewhere because that's where our storms have been building, right? So let's see. Maybe this is one of the tollways. It looks like that might be closer to the station. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, let me step off the screen and I can actually pull up the storm tracker on my radar for you. So I want you to hold that shot for me. I want to see if it starts to interact with any rain, and then we can see. Let me see if I can get him on my storm tracker there. See if it's updated. Okay. All right, so it looks like that might be coming up 69. 59, but once again, it tells a story of how we went from dry conditions today to some sunshine, and still areas of sunshine. You can see it in that shot. Heavy downpours are going to continue across southeast Texas here this evening. We are going to be looking at the chance for some slowdowns on your evening commute. If you have anything, that's the exit on Beach Nut there. If you have anything to do today, just know that this rain will slow you down. It's slowing us down at the airport as well. And we're going to be looking at some more chances for heavy downpours and frequent lightning. So stay tuned with us. We'll be here on our stream as well as on TV. Once again, starting at 3 and continuing all the way to about 7 p.m. here tonight. So we'll have you covered. In the meantime, please head indoors if you have any outdoor plans. And before we wrap here, I think we just got a new alert. If you can pull up my radar from the National Weather Service. Yeah, we have one new alert that's out in Waller, Texas, Waller County. That's until 3:45. That's moving to the north and west. So that's well to the west of Katy, Brazos Country, Pattison. If you're in those communities, that's until 3:45. Looking at, once again, the chance for some strong storms, and it looks like there's potential for some hail in that storm system. We'll have more news and weather for you coming up at 3.